I'm Madison.
And I'm Evan.
And today we're making a steak dinner and better than box brownies.
Let's get baking. So to pick out our steak, what we went with are sirloin fillets. You can use a lot of different kinds of steak, but the way that we are cooking today is butter basting. So you want a pretty thick steak, I would go with the New York strip. If you got it in the budget, ribeye or filet mignon. Now, when picking out a steak, you want to look for all of these white bits right here. That's called marbling, that's intramuscular fat. This is what's going to give it a lot of flavor and make it really tender. Also, when cooking a steak on a stove, you always want to cook it hot. So you need a high smoke point oil. Canola oil works great. Also, avocado oil works great. I wouldn't recommend olive oil or vegetable oil because those will smoke up your kitchen and possibly burn the steak. And yeah, that's it. Let's get to making our steak. All right, so first what we want to do is we want to let our steaks rest and get to room temperature. So you want to open them up, just set them on a cutting board, just forget about them until they come to room temperature. Now, for our side, we are going to do roasted potatoes and Brussels sprouts. So first, we need to preheat the oven to 375. Before that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse the potatoes. Don't want any dirt left on them. We'll set them on the towel to dry. All right, so first we're gonna take all of our potatoes, cut them into little bite-sized pieces. Cut them in half first. Oh, they look so good.
Hey Evan, do you know what the act of serving food in flames is called?
Is it flam in flames?
In flames.
Like serving it in
Serving
flames?
food in flames.
Is it flambe?
It is flambe.
Oh, I thought that was like cooking it.
That was too easy.
You gotta give me harder ones.
I gotta find better questions. Do you know when milk pasteurization was invented?
No.
Can you guess?
Pasteurization?
Yeah, if you get the century, I'll give it to you.
Century?
Yeah, like what century?
16th.
No. It was 1863, 17th century.
So now that we have our potatoes all diced, we want to hit them with a little bit of olive oil just to get them a little wet so the seasoning sticks. Toss it around. And then you want to season it. Today I'm using Signature Spice Blend from the Spice and Tea Company, or the Tea Exchange. You don't need to measure spice. I think that's overrated. Just do however much you think. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, so we save some for the Brussels sprouts. So first, take our Brussels sprout. We have base of it right here. We wanna cut off that base. Take your knife, chop it off, and then there's these extra little leaves on the side. We don't need them, especially if sometimes it doesn't get all the way clean. Cut it into quarters. Put our scraps in our trash bowl. Tear our quarters, put it in this bowl. Now I'll do it for the rest of them.
Which food can be eaten or used directly on your body and still achieve the same effects? You can eat it and put it on your body and it does the same thing.
Oh no, milk?
No, it's an avocado.
Ew. I wouldn't eat that.
Ew. How many people can one ostrich make omelets for?
One ostrich.
One ostrich egg. How many omelets can it make?
One ostrich egg can make, oh, I've watched a video on this. Is it 5?
No. Try again.
Is it more or less?
More.
8?
15. One ostrich egg can make 15 omelets.
I don't know what size omelets they're making, but I always make at least 4 egg omelets.
What is wrong with you?
You get hungry.
That's insane.
You gotta eat.
Okay, this one's probably pretty easy, but which fruit inspired Isaac Newton to think about the laws of gravity?
It was the apple.
Yeah.
Sitting under the tree and it did them.
Okay, last question. Which food is known to cause the most allergies among children?
Children? Mm-hmm. Can it be like lactose or?
It is milk. It's milk. That was gross.
All right, so now we need to preheat our cast iron. We're gonna put it about to medium-high heat, about 6.5. Just let that sit. Enough oil, just coat the bottom of the pan. Doesn't look like much, but once the pan starts to heat up, it'll spread out pretty easily. For our steaks, we're gonna start on them. Our cast iron is hot. We want to just hit them with salt. You want to use a coarse salt, not like a very fine grated salt, because that is going to absorb right into the steak and possibly burn pretty fast. You want to do salt both sides, front and top, or top and bottom. Rub the salt in a little bit, and then also just a little bit of black pepper. Also, want to use pretty coarse black pepper. You never want to use a fine seasoning on a steak because that will burn your crust when we're searing at high temperatures like this. So while we are cooking the steaks, we're going to butter baste them. We want to use rosemary and garlic for this to add flavor. You want to do, take the garlic off of its bulb, take 1, 2, depending on the size, 3, maybe 4. For this, I will be using 4 cloves of garlic. Now, a trick for these shells, what you can do is get a pretty fat head knife, take it, smash it down, and then you can take the crust and the outside right off. It's a little tricky, but works most of the time. So with our steaks, there is, on these sirloins, there's a fat cap. What you want to do first is it's going to sizzle a lot. Put that fat cap down, let it fat render for a few seconds, move it around a little bit. Should look like that. Now, what you can do, put it in the pan. Take our next fat cap, set it down, just a few seconds. Let's sear. Now, put it in our oil. I'm going to take our temperature, knock it down to about a 6. Spread the oil around the pan evenly. Now, let your steak sit for a minute to develop a crust. Alright, after about a minute or 2, take your steak, flip it over, do a nice crush. This one, take a little more char marks. We want a little bit of these char marks, a little bit of these stones, just a little mix of flavor in there. Take our steak, flip it. This one's not as charred, but it will be eventually. Take our butter, drop it in, just a healthy amount. Enough so you can cover that steak up. You glaze the bottom of the pan a little bit. It's gonna look, it looks like a lot, because it is a lot. You want a lot. And with this butter, you wanna add some flavor to it. So, what I have here, we have fresh rosemary sprigs and our garlic that we have cut open to let it cook. Drop all of that in there, and our sprigs of rosemary. We're gonna take the heat, put it up to 3, 4, depending on your oven. All right, so we put our steaks on our cutting board. You always want to rest your steaks. This gets the flavor locked in, the moisture locked in. I put our steaks on top of our garlic and rosemary because I don't want it to sit on the bottom and all the juices seep into it. Also, I took our butter from our pan and put it in a bowl. What you can do is once we cut this steak, is dip your steak in the butter and all that extra flavor in it. Now, also, our potatoes and Brussels sprouts are done. There we go. They look burnt. They're not burnt, I promise you. They got crisp flavor. All right, now that our steak has been resting, you wanna look at it. See all these lines going this way? That's the grain. We always wanna cut against the grain. So, our steak, we're going to cut just like this, right through. And this is a small piece, this is an edge piece. It's pretty medium well. That's okay. Some people like their steak like that. Cut through it. And because we cut against the grain, you see all these lines, it just pulls right apart super easily. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, now, cut our steak against the grain. Take it, put it on our plate. Space them out a little bit. Get some, gotta cut through these just a little more. Plate it up. Try and make it look aesthetic. You can lean them back on the other pieces. I have our bowl of butter right here from our steak. I'm gonna cut just a little piece off right here. I'm gonna dip it in our butter. That's pretty good. Oh my goodness. Now, let's try our Brussels sprouts. Might I say, the fork goes straight through them. They're cooked perfectly. Potatoes, exact same thing. You know what? I'm gonna dip these in the butter. You don't have to, but I love butter. And this is flavored butter. It's garlic rosemary butter. Let's try it. And it's just so good. For the 2 steaks, we spent about $8. The potatoes, for the sack of potatoes that we got, it's probably another $4. The Brussels sprouts, about $3.80. Altogether, it's less than 15. It's about 15 bucks. You know what? Have most seasonings at home. So it's a pretty affordable dinner. I'm gonna try it.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, it's Sadie
And Ash.
and today Can't Think Straight is joining Get Bakin in the kitchen.
And we're going to show you guys.
Alright, we have Can't Think Straight's first team here. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
I'm Ariana.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Kennedy.
And they don't know what cake they're gonna choose because we're making everyone blind pick for the drama of it.
Boom.
Whatever. Alright, next team, get out of here. So we have team number 2 here. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Hugo.
I'm Gia.
And I'm Sarah.
Alright, get out of here, Can't Think Straight group number 2. Oh my gosh, guys, this is team number 1 for Get Bakin. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
I'm Ash.
I'm Marguerite.
I'm Logan.
Oh, hey, that was kind of high. Get out of here, guys. Get out of here. All right, and we have team number 2 for Get Bakin. Why don't we introduce ourselves?
I'm Madison.
I'm Anne. Lovely. All right, that's all our teams. So let's get to bacon. Blind draws. Close your eyes.
I'm gonna do
Get
it
in
like
there.
this.
Get in that bag.
Put the bat. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to get that super moist cake, guys. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, what'd you get?
Super moist.
Wait, that's the vegan cake.
Yeah.
All right, Madison. Okay.
Chocolate.
Per. Close your eyes. Right.
Fresh vanilla.
Period. And lastly,
one. Funfetti.
how exciting!
How fun.
Okay. Woo! Now it's time for the icing. Now, since Ari pulled the vegan cake, Her team has the vegan icing, so they don't get to participate in this blind draw. Womp womp.
Cream cheese.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who's next? Oh, how generous. Okay, Per. This isn't much of a surprise.
Strawberry.
Woo! And it's strawberry and cream.
Oh, strawberry and cream.
Does that remind you guys of that one meme? Strawberries and cream.
Okay.
No way it's that much water.
We can dump some out.
Girl, we put this bag in already.
I thought it was too much.
Why did you put it all in?
Hey guys, what's going on over here?
I don't think we're making a cake.
Are you ready?
Yeah. No, it's gonna
Wait,
be
just
so
put
good.
extra flour or sugar in it.
So we're working on our mix right now. We already added the eggs, so we're adding in our oil now.
Oh! That was good.
I was like, I think this is too much. That's so my bad. It's like 3 cups of water.
Yeah, ours is going really well.
Yeah, we value just being calm, collected, talented.
I don't know how much.
Pour to your heart's content.
That was a good
lot.
idea.
We forgot oil. But we have also okay because I cheated and I used milk instead of water. But we've amended the oil and that's what counts.
What were they baking?
Watch as they sink into the cake.
Oh, we got some spillage, but it's fine.
Okay.
A few moments later.
All right, I'm gonna show you how to make box brownies, but these boxes aren't usually the best. Sometimes they can be kind of dry. So I'm gonna show you what you can do to make them even better. If you watched Can't Think Straight, you watched me and my girl Anne violate a chocolate cake. We're not gonna do that this time. I actually know what I'm doing. Let's get started. The very first thing we're gonna do is crack eggs into a little bowl. Cracking your eggs first is easier so you can fish out all the little shells that you're inevitably gonna get in here. That's a little too much, but that's okay. Can I steal this? Okay. I'm gonna bust up these yolks first so we don't over mix it, trying to bust them up when we put them into the batter. Scrambled. Now, you're gonna follow half the instructions on the box. We have an 8x8 pan, and usually that would mean 1 box of brownies, but it's a pretty deep pan, so I'm gonna do 2. If we have extra batter, whatevs. All right, so we're gonna put our eggs in this bowl. Oh yeah, that's gross. Sweet. Next, instead of using vegetable oil, like the box says, we're gonna use butter. What is 2/3 in, hold on. 1/3 cup is 1 1/3 tablespoons. Cool, so the box says to do 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Again, we're doing 2 boxes, so we have to double that. We need 2/3 cup of butter. You can follow the little lines on your butter so you don't mess it up. 5 1/3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're gonna need about 1.5 sticks of butter. So you're gonna want some room temp butter. If your butter's a little cold, you can put the whole stick in the wrapper in a cup of warm water and it'll get room temp in about 5-10 minutes. Not hot water, because then it'll melt and you'll get some weird butter water stuff going on. But we've got some room temp butter here in a bowl, and I'm gonna sit and mash it up again so we don't overmix our brownies. Cue some hot B-roll of me mashing butter. Hot B-roll. All right, so again, the box says to use 1/4 cup of water. We're doing 2 boxes, so that's 1/2 cup of water. Instead of water, we're gonna do some coffee. So here I have 1/2 cup of some instant espresso and water. I'm gonna throw in a good old splash of vanilla. Measure vanilla with your heart, okay? That feels good. So we're gonna dump this right on in there. By adding coffee, it's gonna make your chocolate taste so much better, especially because we got the ones with chocolate chunks. It's usually not the best quality chocolate. So your coffee is gonna make it taste that much better. You can also add extra chocolate chips if you're really feeling it. Maybe sprinkle some on the top. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do. Now I'm just gonna sit here and mash it all together. Again, you don't wanna overmix things because I think that was the issue with our chocolate cake. The other day in Can't Think Straight, we sat there and mixed for a while. So don't overmix it. Because we used coffee, we don't have to use any milk. You can if you want to, that just means use less coffee or water. You can do about 1/4 cup of coffee and 1/4 cup of milk if you really, really wanted to, but there's a lot of butter in here, so I don't think we need it. Now, all of those butter chunks don't need to be busted up because in the pan, you're gonna get these nice little pockets of buttery goodness. It's gonna be delicious. If you have a really big pan, you can put in a little metal baking tip, like a frosting tip, or sometimes they sell those little metal like dowels that go right in the middle so everything evenly cooks. But our pan's not big enough for that. It's okay, we don't have to worry about it. If you're really feeling fancy, if you're making something like a cake or something, you can save your butter wrappers and line your pan with butter wrappers. So you don't have to waste your butter wrappers, 1, and 2, you don't have to sit there and try to scrape it out. But because we're not gonna be taking this out of the pan, we don't really need them. We're just gonna spray it with some cooking spray. Butter wrappers also stay in the freezer for up to a month. Especially if you have margarine, they'll stay longer. Real butter, a little tastier, so. Now that everything is nice and mixed together, I've sprayed this pan with some baking spray, like an influencer. Now we're gonna dump all of this in there. You wanna scrape all your sides up. Actually, can I get a hand? Somebody wanna come hold this bowl for me? All right, that looks about good. There's still some stuff on the edges, that's fine. You can totally eat cookie dough, brownie dough, cake batter, whatever. Your chances of getting salmonella from raw eggs is much, much lower than your chances of getting E. coli from raw flour. So live your life, bestie, do what you want. Now that we have brownie batter in here, we're gonna shake it to get some of those bubbles out. So we have nice and fudgy brownies. Again, it's got chocolate chunks in there, but you know what? We live life on the edge. So I'm gonna throw some sprinkles on top so it's pretty, and some extra chocolate chips, because why not? And that's it for our brownies. All right, we're gonna put these brownies in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Ready? Look at that reverb. Where's the fork? I want to smack it. Ready? Let's get in there. Okay, that was incredible. Let's see. It's gonna be really hot. I'm gonna do it. Do it hot. Okay. But they're actually so good. Even with the little burnt crispies, texture, and all the chocolate chips, the coffee really helped.
That's how you say there. That's better. Is it hot? Oh my god, it is hot. Okay, wait, put it. I'm gonna bend my mouth. Wait. Well, I know everyone's staring at me. The camera's up, and they're like, "Oh, eat it, Ann. Eat it, Ann." It's hot.
That's a great reaction.
Like it's gooey, sure, but it's good. It tastes like a brownie,
Period.
but it's gooey. It's just goo, and that's fine.
That's good.
And that's fine.
Like when I can take some crust with it. Wait.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna burn my mouth too. That's really good though. The chocolate and the coffee work so well together.
So give us a little rundown. They look delicious. Our edges are a little burnt. And that's okay, but we did add just a smidge too much butter. Especially with the extra chocolate chips in the chocolate chunk brownies. So, for future reference, I would do the 1 box measurement if you're switching to butter. So that would be 1/3 cup. Don't double it. Now if you're doing 1 box, I would cut that in half. What's half of 1/3? You know what? Y'all know how to use Google. So the very first thing we're gonna do, oh wait.
So, you come here often? Actually, I just moved here.
Do some consistency.
That's good. Oh, it's so hot. Oh.
It's just a little different.
I questioned it. I fully questioned it, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're hogging the measuring cup, Mario."
You know, how could we be so blind to the other things?
Honestly, I think
Like, I think it's just melted chocolate.
please zoom in on that. That's kind of fire, actually. Keep going. The
ASMR.
You guys still.
Bro.
Okay. Yep.